So guys, good afternoon and welcome to the Sunset Safari. And weren't these two a nice surprise? That was quite a surprise for me. So we have Shadow and Sindile, which is who I was setting out to find, and I just took a guess as to where they were likely to be, and here they are. So guys, welcome to the Sunset Safari. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jamie and I have the Aardvark on camera with me. And look how big he's getting. And what a wonderful way to start the afternoon. So we're going to try and stay with these two. I'm just going to switch on and get in front of them. Hello, gorgeous. Times 2.
Maybe let's try to drive far in front of them and then we can come back.
Okie dokie. So guys, don't panic, I'm not leaving them. I'm just looping around so that we can get a good view of them.
This is perfect.
Good position?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome, guys. So what a leopard-filled day this has been for me. For those of you who missed the sunrise safari, we had Tingana, who we strongly suspect could be Sindile's father, just on the western area of Arathusa. And this afternoon I set out to find these two, and Shadow is just making a little contact call there. You can see, for those of you who are just joining us, Sindile, the little cub on the left, he is around 11 months to a year old soon, and he is with his mother Shadow, and you can see he's basically, I think he might even have overtaken her in terms of size at this point. Let's try and stay with him. And wasn't that terribly obliging of them to come out to this nice open area? Very, very sweet. Just trying to work out which direction she's going in. Isn't it nice to see them up and about? And Purple Rain is in definite agreement with me. Welcome to the Sunset Safari, sorry. I agree, it is wonderful to see them up and about and on the move. And I am just going to try and loop them quickly so we can get them on the road. So Sindile has settled down. Oh, no, he's up again. Mom Shadow obviously doesn't want to rest at the moment. She is on a mission somewhere. And although the wind might be hiding it, she is making soft contact calls to Sindile. Now I have heard they both look fairly full-bellied. Let's you there?
I'm good here
Good there.
for the moment. Yeah.
They're going to shift around. Sure, what a nice surprise. And a great way to start the sunset safari. I just want to hop on the radio and let the other guides know. But to do that, I actually need to remember exactly where I am and where I came in. Which I'm struggling to do for some reason. I know that I'm on Juma and I'm just east of the M boundary, which leads across to Arathusa. So I just want to call it in. I think I'm on Impala Road. Yeah, stations. I've got Shadow and Herb Antoine here on Impala Road. They are mobile west towards the M boundary. They're going to cross the road nicely in front of us. I'll just move my head out of the way. You can hear, I'm not sure if you can hear it over the wind, and it is very, very windy, but there is a squirrel shouting, and actually Shadow has a little bit of a wound on her bum. I'm not too sure. On her top of her right leg, she's got a bit of a cut. So it could be that she's come to fetch him and is taking him back to a kill that she might have stashed away somewhere. Okay, now things might get tricky. I am going to stay with them just because they aren't consistently walking west, so I don't want to lose them by looping around onto the road. And I also don't want to drive on top of them as they move through the block. So we're just going to try and keep pace with them, and I'm going to try and keep them. And I would not be surprised if Shadow is leading Sindile's. I wouldn't be surprised if Shadow isn't leading Sindile to a kill. Sorry guys, we just had a little smudge on the screen we had to clean away.
Try to get in front of them, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just going to scoot around in front of the general direction they're walking in, just because it's tricky for us to get a good shot while they're on the move like this. She is moving mainly north, that I've got to be careful about crossing boundaries if she does get to the Arathusa side.
Oh, this is good.
This is good?
Yeah, perfect.
They both seem to have fairly full bellies, and I can see that Shadow is panting. It is very warm at the moment, and it could be that they have just eaten. We did hear reports about these guys on a kill, sharing a kill with Tingana, but that was a couple of days ago, and then I heard that yesterday Shadow had a kill around the Arathusa waterhole. Sorry guys, I've got Sindile right behind me, so I don't really want to switch on. There you go, Shadow. As you can see, how relaxed is he around the car. These guys have just very calmly walked behind us. Just to give you an idea of how close they get and how we can experience the sighting. And he is. He's playing with his mom. I'm going to try and get ahead. It's a little... There is quite a large fallen tree blocking my path. So I will... Sorry guys, I will try and get us a better position, but I don't want to drive right on top of them and behind them.
What's your head?
I'll duck my head. Okay, let me try and reposition. Try and stay ahead of these two. They are definitely on a mission. And just ahead of us, Sindile he creeps behind at the side of every obstacle, and then he sort of playfully jumps out at his mom. I've had to do that to poor Andrew. I'm surprised if he'll ever get on the back of the vehicle with me again.
We cruise slowly next to them, it's also very nice.
Okay, alright, we can do that. We're actually going to see Sindile is play stalking his mother. I'm going to stop just to see if we can get that play behavior. Okay, I'm just going to hop on the Game Drive channel and just let everybody know. And they're going to cross in front of us. Let me move away. Yeah, stations, these Ingwe are now on Triple M, Mobile North.
We can stay here, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, copy that. I will do. I think she is going to cross. They're going to cross soon into the west. That's affirmative. Okay. Sorry guys, I just have to get my phone out and we'll stay with them at the same time. Copy. And check that I'm not going to be crossing into any boundaries before I go across here. Since I've already risked that once this morning on the sunrise safari, we were right on the edge. Sorry guys, I've got the maps on my phone, which is why I've got my phone out. So I'm just checking. Okay. We've got one junction ahead of us. And unfortunately, if they go west from there, we won't be able to follow them. I'm just going to switch on to Arethusa and let the guys know there. But I'll wait a moment just so we get a good visual. You're still good?
Yeah, we're still good.
Okay. Our stations, I've got Shadow and Bantuan mobile north on Triple M, almost at the junction with where Parallel Road meets, right in the north corner there.
I'm still good, eh?
You still good?
Yeah,
cool.
Zoom's very good.
Awesome. So how cool is that? What a way to start off. And there is a very, very strong possibility that she's leading him to a kill. Her tracks were all over the place this morning when I was on my way to see Tingana. Okay guys, I'm gonna catch up so we don't lose them. And as you can hear, it is very, very windy today on the in the Sabi Sands. I'm just giving them some space to walk comfortably down the road. Which leopard are you on?
I'm on both of them at the moment.
Both of them, okay. There was just a little bit of a cheek rub on that guari bush, and that is just scent marking behavior. You see it with both lions and leopards. And it is amazing to see how comfortable these leopards are with the vehicle. You saw a little bit earlier how close Sindile was comfortable to come. Hello boy, are you going to lie down in the shade for a bit? Are you tired? Nope, not following mom. And Katrina actually tells me that there's been a huge change in the way that Sindile reacts to vehicles. Apparently he is much, much more relaxed compared to when the WildEarth viewers started to see him. And that is really cool to see. It means that he's been treated with respect, and also that Shadow has taught him to be relaxed around vehicles. So that kind of behavior and exposure is learnt. And it's one thing that is so important in these animals' survival, because their livelihood and their protection is at least partly ensured by tourists coming to see them. Isn't this wonderful behavior? He's feeling so playful.
We good? Yeah, we good.
You good here?
Yep, it's a nice angle.
Awesome. And such a special way to start the sunset safari. Just wandering calmly up the road. So it is very important to have let the Juma guys know. I've also switched onto the Arathusa side just to let them know what's going on. But everybody in the area should be aware of it. And it's nice to be able to share these sightings with as many people as possible so that they really get to experience it. And there they go off, disappearing into the distance, but we're going to try to stay with them. That was just too good a view for us to miss. And because of the positioning that I'm in, I am being very careful in terms of their personal space, just because they are walking up a road. So it means that instead of being able to approach them from a different angle, I actually have to drive directly behind them, which is why I'm making sure that I keep a nice comfortable distance. And with the current camera that we have, we've got the most amazing zoom capabilities, so it's not too much of a problem. Shadow is definitely intent on being somewhere. Now I really want to be able to stay with these two. Unfortunately, we have reached the very top of our boundary. Ooh, squirrels shouting, they've been spotted. I'm gonna make sure that I don't drive over some of these tracks, so that at least if we do lose them, I can show you what fresh tracks look like. Stations Shadow and Van still mobile north up Triple M. I've just reached the junction with Power Lines Road. Copy. I'm just going to switch back to channel 1 and let them know they're still on this road. Yeah, stations, Shadow and Bantuan still mobile on Triple M, mobile north. They haven't turned off west yet. Ooh, there's something in my eye.
We good still?
We good still? I keep forgetting how amazing the zoom on this particular camera is. It really gives us the ability to sit and watch them. And the birds around are just chirping to let everybody else know. You can hear at least one francolin going.
Okay, we can go.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more calling as they go up the road.
Oh, giraffe.
our left, just through the trees, we've got a couple of giraffe, and this one in particular has adopted the typical giraffe strategy of simply staring down the threat. And they are snorting at the leopards. Sindile is very close and Shadow is calling him. And I'm causing a bit of a traffic jam, but he will just have to wait temporarily, unfortunately. So that was an interesting interaction. The giraffe just mainly stood their ground. One of them spooked a little bit, but stood their ground and just watched as Sindile went past. But his mom made very sure to call him. And although I do have a truck behind me, I'm actually not going to move aside because he can't actually go past these leopards at the moment. It appears he is quite determined to try.
You can't go past.
How's it? They're waiting for you at the gate. What time do you have to be there? 4. Okay. They're moving off now, off to the left. The guy behind me is about to lose his opportunity to go through the gate. So I'm going to stay with these guys. Hopefully. Unfortunately, it does look like they're moving off to the west. I'm just going to place myself as a buffer between the leopards and the movement of the truck. So guys, we will take one last good look at our leopards disappearing, unfortunately, across our boundaries. Our station, I can't follow up with these Ingwe any further. They are mobile northwest into this block. I'm just going to move forward so that the guide behind me doesn't lose them, because he is able to follow up. Stop shop. And unfortunately, we cannot follow along with that particular vehicle. But what a special sighting we've just had with Shadow and Sindile. And Sindile showing a really playful side to his personality, clearly feeling nice and well fed and quite happy to play with his mother. She did look as though she was on a mission, and I do believe that she could be potentially leading him to a kill. I'm not too sure. I just want to double check my calculations in terms of boundaries just to make sure we can't follow. However, I am fairly certain that we are right north. Yeah, unfortunately this is definitely the end of the road for us in terms of following them. So sorry about that, guys, but we did have quite an amazing moment with them. So we've lost them now, but we had a great time, And as I said, Sindile being really, really playful and quite excitable and pouncing on his mother. She didn't seem too impressed by his attentions, but, you know, it's having a playful teenage son. Maybe she's feeling a little bit grumpy. And this afternoon, I actually had arranged a whole series of show and tell for you guys, but the leopards sort of took over for a while. So we did have an awesome time. And if you guys have any questions, if you are new to the show, what you just saw on your screens with those two leopards is live. It is happening right here in the Sabi Sands. And if you have any questions or have any comments to make about that, you can send them through on #SafariLive on Twitter or email through at questions@wildearth.tv. So, we've had a good start to the afternoon. I think it's time to go look for other things around. Oh, just before I start driving, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the updates. So if you missed the sunrise safari and you were wondering what was happening with that Matimba male who was mating with the Styx female, they have gone on honeymoon to a separate part of the reserve. So they've moved just to the south of our border. So we can't follow them this afternoon, unfortunately. But for those of you who might have missed it, one of the Styx females is mating with, I think it was Hairy Belly, yesterday afternoon with James. So they've moved off there. The Nkuhuma Pride are off to the east, as far as I know. But nice to hear that there might be some more cubs on the way in the next 3 months. Okay, so that's the lion update. Tingana has moved off to the west. So he is away and gone. Now I'm going to find my way back to acceptable areas to drive. And let's see what else we can find for you guys this afternoon.